What's going on, everybody? This is Blockchain Bullz, and today we're going to talk about how to do research on cryptocurrency projects that you're interested in, investing in, and how to learn about other projects that don't exist but have opportunity to grow new projects. That's what this video is going to be about. So if you're new to Blockchain Bullz, we're an information resource related to cryptocurrency, so you can consider subscribing and following us on Twitter. But here's our YouTube channel, brand new channel. We just started putting out videos last week, so I've done these channels before. I know cryptocurrency, I've been into it for a few years, so I'm going to share my research here with you guys on how I go about it, and I'm really going to just unload everything I can into this video. So get the popcorn ready and get seated, get some coffee or something. Pay attention, because I'm going to show you guys some valuable information here. And if you like videos like this, crush up the like button. So let's go ahead and dive in here. So let me just tell you guys about cryptocurrency in general. If you guys look at the stock market, right, you have different sectors. You have industrial, you have energy sector, you have financial sector, you have technology sector, you have all these different sectors or subcategories in the stock market. Well, you have the same kind of thing in cryptocurrency, right? You have payment coins, you have scalable coins, you have finance and banking, you have trading and investing, exchange-based coins like Binance, you have off-chain solutions like Link, you have asset management coins, you have wallets, you have big data and storage like they have Filecoin and Siacoin. They have events and entertainment, kind of like Theta and Mana and Tron. You have supply chain logistics like VeChain. Maybe even some of these other ones like business platform. You have something that's new lately is non-fungible tokens. So you have all these different things, social networks. So when you're investing in cryptocurrency, what subcategory are you really looking to invest in? And then inside of that, what projects do you think are the strongest projects? So when I'm going through here and I'm picking a subcategory that I think is up and coming technology or up and coming demand that's going to be there, I'm getting into this. One of the areas that I've really gotten into here recently is NFTs, non-fungible tokens, because I think that's got an opportunity to grow here moving into the future, especially if you've used the Oculus Quest 2 and virtual reality, and you could kind of see how these projects in that particular field are very interesting. But once I'm understanding what kind of subcategory that I'm going into, is it artificial intelligence, infrastructure, gaming, what you name it, okay, maybe engine or Mana, now I have an idea of where I want to put my money and make some investments. Okay, so now once I have that information, I'm a little bit more prepared to go into YouTube now, and I'm going to watch some of these YouTube videos here, and I'm going to learn from some of these guys to get ideas about some cryptocurrencies that are available. So I might watch Crypto Lark or BitBoy, or maybe some of these guys you trust more than others. Maybe you find one that you really trust, or you pay attention. Now, here's the thing. When you pick one of these cryptocurrency channels to watch, remember, they're guys just like me and you, or ladies in some cases. They put their pants on one leg at a time. They're not God. They don't know everything. The whole point of this is to win more than you lose, right? If you play football, the Super Bowl team, the Chiefs, I think they went, 14-2 or 13-3. Like, the whole point is to win more than you lose. Like, you gotta accept the fact that you're gonna have losses in there. No one bats 100%. No one shoots 100% free throws. Like, some people miss, and it's okay. The whole point is you gotta be like Beyonce, right? Dust yourself off and try again if you lose, right? Like, you get knocked down, you got to get back up and try again. So that's the whole point, right? Because you got to win more than you lose, and that's victory. So if you get into all these different cryptocurrency channels, what they're going to give you, they're like an aggregate. Like a channel like mine, for example, this one here, I'm going to give you information about coins. Then what you have to do is your own due diligence and dial it in and see if you actually believe that's a good investment for you. So here recently, I personally went and I invested in, let's just use the Graph, right? Okay, so the Graph is a new popular coin. So when I'm looking at this, before I take out a position in this and decide that this is an investment that I want to make, okay, I want to know where its all-time high was. I want to know when it hit the market. So this one hit the market. I go to all, it's brand new, hit the market December 17th, and it had an all-time high of 73 cents. and I'm really paying attention to the market cap. That's a pretty high market cap for a new coin. That tells me something. They're really not joking around with what they got, right? So now being that it's like half the price it was 73 cents, now it's down to 37 cents, or it was a $914 billion market cap, now it's 461 billion. It's kind of like I'm either getting it on sale or it's continuing to go down even lower to a more reasonable price, because almost $1 billion for a new project is kind of a high valuation. We saw that with Polkadot though, okay? But typically when you're getting into these projects, it's got to be like a really amazing top 20 potential coin or a project if you're paying that kind of price for things. Like usually when a coin hits the market, it's usually around about under $50 million market cap. So to be almost $1 billion says a lot about it. So you're either deciding if it's a good investment at this price, or if it's still got room to go down and you're going to be patient and wait it out. Now, when I'm actually analyzing the project, what I'm looking at here is their website. Is their website slow? Is it properly laid out? Are they just talking a big game, or do they really know what they're talking about? So I'm like analyzing it like, am I just looking at like a front, the front of an empty vessel, or is there actually an engine in there that's actually in this vessel? Like, is this a Lambo frame, or is this actually a Lambo with the engine installed? You get it? So, because some people they can get all dolled up and look the part, but then you get to know it and you're like, that was just a complete waste of time, right? So there's going to be that in crypto, and you want to have the discernment to be able to weed out the riffraff and the scams and the BS and know what's real and what's not, because for everyone that there's a scam, there's also some real ones that are out there, and you're just trying to be able to tell the difference. So again, fast moving website, do they have things that you can actually use? Like, is the marketplace up? Is it working? Like, can I actually go into the marketplace? Let's see, right? So these are things that I want to know. One thing that's a red flag, whenever it says not secure like that, that's a red flag to me, because I know cybersecurity, this right here would be an SSL certificate. So the fact that they don't have an SSL certificate on here, that's a red flag, because if they really knew what they were doing and they had their ducks in a row, they would have an SSL certificate on their marketplace or on the marketplace that they're connecting to. Now, you'll see right here, it is secure on their main website, but where they're referring me to this everlast.link, why are they referring me to something that doesn't have a secure network or a SSL? That's a safety issue, right? I'm not saying it's a big issue, but that's something that like people who build websites should know better than that, because it's just an SSL certificate. But you could see on here, interesting information. I would love to know what all these are. I know what Wax is. I know what Proppy is. That's great and everything. But again, that's one thing that's kind of standing out as a red flag. So I'm like looking for the things that impress me, and I'm looking for the things that don't necessarily impress me. Now, keywords that people are using right now: interoperability, governance, security, money. Like, this is kind of common among many projects. So if I also want to know things, I'm looking to see if I can maybe join their Discord. I'm also looking at their docs, their blog. I also want to know who the CEO of the project is. I want to know, like, who's the leaders? Like, is there a team, or are they anonymous? Like, the fact that they don't have their team anywhere available on here, because I want to know, like, can I know who these people are? It's not necessarily that I want to hold them accountable for me deciding to invest in them, but I also want to know that they're not trying to hide out, because typically a scam or something, they're usually trying to hide out. They don't want to be seen. So that's another red flag, the fact that I can't find out who their team is. So these are just some things that I'm looking for as I'm reading through their website and familiarizing myself with everything on the website. This is just one project. I'm not saying it's a good project or a bad project, but honestly, in my opinion, I think it's overvalued, especially since they don't have their team on their website. I haven't checked out their social media, but I should probably do that too. But I would like to know why they don't have their team on there. They might, maybe it's easily accessible and I'm just missing it, but it's certainly not something that I can find. Now, they do have a test net, they do have a network, they do have some docs that I can review. They have a newsletter. Maybe I'll sign up for that before I fully jump in. So I don't think I'm in a hurry to jump into this project. And if I miss the boat, that's completely fine with me. They can take off and go to the moon, and I'm going to be completely fine with it. But I don't see enough here to make me say, wow, this is like a project that I need to just start investing all my money into. Now, they have a thing called view all my tweets, but why didn't that take me to view more tweets? Okay, word of mouth. Okay, but where's their Twitter? I want to check out their social media. So I'll go right here and I'll type in the graph. Let's see. Okay, so I'm following them. There they are. They've got 35,000 followers. I wonder how much of it is real and how much of it is not. Are they fake subscribers? Are they fake likes? Are they real? But if I go through here, it looks like they're just retweeting a bunch. They're not really saying anything. They've got a lot of action, but they're not really saying anything of value. I don't really see too much. So, the graph, if I'm investing in this, I would probably just be FOMOing into it. Although, there could be some interesting aspects to it, and it could go to $25 for all I know. But as of right now, they've got some red flags. So now if I go back to CoinMarketCap again and I analyze another project, let's just look at Polkadot. So what I'm looking at with Polkadot is I'm looking at the market cap, really high market cap. It's going up. So usually when something's going up, that could be a good thing, but you could also get caught in the pump, which means what comes next? The dump. You don't want to be caught up in a pump and dump because you FOMO'd, you had fear of missing out. Cardano, another coin that's going up, up 22% in the last 7 days. Both these coins, Polkadot and Cardano, have a lot of long-term potential. I mean, if you compare 5.7 billion compared to Bitcoin at 496 billion, I mean, it's got a lot of room to grow. And Ethereum at 81 billion, I mean, these coins could catch 81 billion. That price would, 18x, 20 or 16x, you could get 16 times the value if it achieves that same market capitalization and price. But we'll see. So again, I'm looking at their social media. I want to know their team. I want to know their price action. I want to look at their chart and see if they're at an all-time high, because if they're at an all-time high, that could be a sign of more momentum coming, or it could be a sign of the fact that that coin now has to come back down to reality. So it's going to sell off and dump down, because that's how markets go. They go up and down. I mean, if you look at any chart, even Bitcoin, you'll see, we call them crocodile teeth, right? Like this, the pump, dump. I mean, and then you have little mini crocodile teeth in between there. These little lines right here, these are crocodile teeth. Like people who buy up here, they're probably pretty pissed off when it went all the way down here, right? The people who bought all the way up here, they're probably mad when it went all the way down here. And you could see Bitcoin kind of doing it again, where it's entering into bubble territory. Now, could this mountain end up being so big that it goes all the way up here off the charts? I mean, literally off the charts, right? Because, this one did something completely unique when it went up way high like that too. I mean, look how flat it was and look how much it grew that time, but then it corrected. Now, how much legs do we have behind this movement here? We don't know. The next thing you want to know is where you can actually buy the coin. So if I want to know where I can buy the coin, let's just say I wanted to buy Zilliqa. I'm doing research. Okay, so what I'm looking for is, as an American or whatever country you're in, for example, I can't use Swissborg. So if something's on Swissborg or Bithumb or I think OKX, I can't use those because I'm in US, but I can use Binance US. Now, before I sign up for an exchange, another thing that I want to know is that exchange legit? Because you don't want to get into one of these exchanges that just kind of like disappear. They take everyone's money and they just kind of run away. So you want to get with legitimate, good exchanges, and even good ones have been liquidated and gone out of business. But for the most part, you'll know who's who. Like for example, Binance US, that's typically a good one. You can read up on it before you get in there, because they're going to ask you for your information. You might want to check out that exchange on social media and see if they've got good ratings. But yeah, it is important to know if these exchanges, where you're getting it, because you don't want to go onto an exchange that's out in, I don't know, maybe like Seychelles. Not necessarily a bad thing that they're in Seychelles, but maybe they're in Seychelles because they're trying to create this this Ponzi scheme thing, and they don't want to be held accountable for it, so they go offshore with it. And you're over there putting all this money, you got $3,000 or $4,000 over in your account, and next thing you know, they're like, oh, we got hacked. And you're like, you got hacked? What do you mean you got hacked? Where's the funds? And they're like, oh, we can't give anyone their funds back, and there's nothing you can do about it because they're over in Seychelles. So that's why it's really important that when you sign up for an exchange, you make sure that they're a good quality exchange. You do research on them. You make sure that their team, like this one, Binance, you can find out who the leader of Binance is, and I'll show you. His name is CZ. So he's made himself available. He's the CEO of Binance. You know that he's out there. He's a good leader in the space. You know, no one's perfect. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that would say that they may or may not like him, but the point is that you know who's behind that project. And that's really important. If you go sign up for an exchange and you can't find out who the leader is, the CEO of a centralized exchange, you know, then you're kind of like, wow, what's going on? As an American, typically we sign up for Coinbase, even though they have the highest fees and they have some problems, they're not perfect, or Gemini, those kind of exchanges right there, because they're like American citizens who manage it in America, in New York, and in Silicon Valley and San Francisco. Whereas CZ, I don't know exactly where he lives. I think this company, Binance in particular, is out of Malta, but most of the they do have Binance US, which is actually a subsidiary of Binance, the conglomerate, the main Binance that you used to be able to use, but you can't anymore because you have to use Binance US because regulators stepped in. Sometimes regulation is actually a good thing because it protects you guys from scammers and spammers, and because unfortunately these scammers and spammers, they do exist. So this is just like a very bare minimum video about how to start out doing research in cryptocurrency to make sure that, you know, to make sure you're getting into something that's legit. Again, trust but verify. So you watch the videos on YouTube, you trust that they're giving good advice, then you verify by actually looking at the project on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, and you use that. Another application that I use, I can show you guys all of that stuff. I have other videos about applications you can use for that, but I can make a part 2 to how to do proper research on mobile devices, and also how to do accounting if there's a demand for it. If you guys want me to make a video about how I do my bookkeeping, in-house bookkeeping, as well as mobile notifications and staying on top of the cryptocurrency picks that I have, let me know in the comments and I'll look into making that video. So we'll see you guys on the next one, and thanks for subscribing and liking the video. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any recommendations for a part 2 or 3.